Hi there, I'm Lyndon Thorpe, and I'm doing a series of Q&A sessions every Friday at 9 a.m. BST to show you how my product Lodestone works. Maybe you've joined me before. I've had a couple of guests recently, which was great, but today I'm alone. So I'm going to do a little bit of practice with you. So if you're watching, be prepared to do a little bit of spine practice, because this is how we can best learn about our bodies, actually working with them. And that's me. I'm an embodiment mentor. In other words, all my transformation work starts from the inside out. The body does not lie. The blood does not lie. It's only the mind that conjures up all sorts of strange things that don't exist. So it's a really splendid starting place for any success. And success starts inside. You may be worried about your external results and your, what people are thinking about you and so on. But really that doesn't matter at all. What matters is what you think about you. And this is what's happening with the occurrences of burnout and imposter syndrome and money guilt and all sorts of strange psychological patterns that are emerging, especially in younger people. So I'm here to bring my wisdom of many years working as a body re-education specialist, as an Alexander teacher, a Feldenkrais teacher, a meditation teacher, apart from many other things. But yes, this is what I want to bring to the global community now, because nobody is thinking about it. Your body is your most amazing asset of all. That may surprise you. You may have lots of money in the bank or jewels or a superb Ferrari or something like that, but really your body is your most precious asset. And it's remarkable because spiritually we can't possess the body. And that's all intended by the invisible world. So remember, there are two very different worlds. There's the visible world, which we're in right now, which has certain rules and certain traditions and so on. And there is the vast, invisible world, which you may have lost touch with a little. I'm in constant touch with. And I want to invite you to spend more time in the invisible world. So we're going to do a little bit of practice today. So first of all, let me give you a short presentation. This week's theme, every week I choose a different theme, and in fact now I've worked through all 4 of your inner compasses. So you'll perhaps remember that you have 4. You have the brain and the brain stem and the pineal gland, which is between your eyes. You have the heart and lungs. You have the solar plexus, which is down just above your navel. And then you have your base chakra. So this is today's topic, and notice the spelling of base. I decided to use the musical word base because it really is very deep, your base chakra. And this is actually where your real power exists. So let me just talk you through this a little bit. Okay, what is known as the Muladhara in meditation circles sits right at the root of your spine. See in the image here. Let me go a little bit bigger and then you'll see even better. There we are. So this is the Muladhara, Muladhara. It's pronounced in various ways, and it's really the root of your spine. You probably never think about your spine, but in fact, the spine is your consciousness, because inside these bones, these vertebrae here, the spinal cord fits beautifully. And the spinal cord runs from the brain down here to the base of the spine. And so the bones are designed to protect it, to make it generate even better. It's a very wonderful design. And then in between each of your bones of the spine, you have a disc. You may have heard the expression slipped disc. It's a cartilage disc, which sits between each of these bones and in fact cushions the bones and helps to give extra protection to the spinal cord. And for my purposes, I want you to think of the spinal cord as your consciousness. It's what makes us different from animals. Yeah, it's so important. And your spine is what connects you to the universe, the heavens, and the earth, down below your feet, down below your muladhara, here if you're sitting. And so if the spine is not looked after, and so many people are having problems with spines, then you're going to lose your sense of safety and stability. And also your ability to manifest in the material world will be seriously constricted. Yeah, because human beings have consciousness, so we have the ability to radiate out into the world. And the law of attraction says that what we radiate out, we receive. Yeah, so we are magnetic beings. And I'm working to show people how important that is in terms of success, any kind of success, personal, business, academic, whatever kind of success. If you're not successful inside, then your mind acts on your body in a negative way, and so you are not successful. It's very simple. These natural laws have always existed, but human beings have stepped away from many natural things, as we know. We can see from the state of the earth at the moment, to create their own reality. But in fact, we can't. We can't compete with nature, and we can't compete with the earth. The planet is our home. It's also our existence. It provides breathable gas, the only planet we know that does, and that enables us to survive and to thrive, but we rarely give it a second thought. So my inside out transformation work encourages people to start to look more closely at their bodies and find transformation first inside. Okay, I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a moment. And just a few more facts then about this base chakra. Chakra, it's not a fancy word, it's a Hindu word, and it means wheel. And we have various chakras or energy centers right up the spine. They start at the top here and go right down to the muladhara here. And they are hot. If we had a heat camera, we could see they are hot centers of energy. But in Sanskrit, the original unspoken language in India, mula means root. Yeah. And adhara means foundation. So the muladhara was so important and should be so important to us all right now, today. Okay. Now, in my work, I teach people how to stand properly, how to sit properly. And when you're sitting, your sitting bones, as I call them, as we call them in Alexander work and in Feldenkrais too, they have to really sit into the chair. Now, if your sitting bones are really going down into whatever you're sitting on, then your root is really strong and your spine will emanate up if that root is strong. It's just like a tree. You know, a tree without good roots will fall eventually, will get sick and fall. We are the same. Yeah, it's the same image, if you like. So, yeah, let me drop that little seed in for you. When you next sit down, or maybe you're sitting down right now, then remember to think about your Muladhara and sit really into your chair. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. Yeah, so here we've got a couple of images of back pain, and we've got the idea that I've just expressed, that really your spine is like a tree, like a column of consciousness, really going up into the heavens and down into the earth. And we are the connection between the heavens and the earth. Our consciousness is something so special. Animals don't have it. Animals don't have language. Animals don't have 10,000 different ways of expressing themselves with their head and face. We are really 100% evolved physically. And it's my mission now to make sure that spiritually, psychologically, and physically, we are also 100% evolved. So, a few facts. Did you know that 80% of adults report suffering from lower back pain today? This is a recent study, last month. And in fact, many employers are bemoaning the fact that it's the number one cause of disability in the workplace, and in fact worldwide. If you think about your circle of people and family, you probably find that maybe half of them have got back problems. They don't need to have them if they take care of their base chakra. So this back pain, this low back pain, it's not just an indication that people are standing badly or sitting badly or their work is too heavy or anything like that. It's not just that. It is that we are kind of lost. We're not rooted properly in the present systems and societies, and not in ourselves. Everything is starting to change and crumble. The traditional workplace, my campaign here on LinkedIn is, and on YouTube, welcome people on LinkedIn and YouTube. My campaign is escape the 9-to-5 grind, because the traditional workplace model is now completely outdated. We've got AI, we've got a whole new sense of personal economy. We are in a position to become much stronger and more self-dependent right now, rather than depending on employers, depending on doctors for our health. If we have this knowledge, and if we have the products I'm going to mention to you in a moment, then we can start to take care of ourselves. I am not young. I'm in my 70s, and I have never ever been in hospital, and I have never ever been sick, really. And that's because I've always worked with the body. I've always had good spine health. Even now, I have no trace of any deterioration of my spine or my bones. And I have lots of exercise. I'm really very, very fit for my age. And I'm rooted I'm really rooted in me. Yeah, so I'm a mentor, therefore, for you. I'm a living example of how somebody quite old can remain really bright and healthy, and I don't depend on doctors at all. I do my practices and I stay really healthy. So, yeah, if you aren't rooted properly, if a tree doesn't have proper roots, then it doesn't have proper energy and it will eventually rot and fall down. So you can't rise up, you can't be successful until you're properly rooted. And this is what I'm working with in my transformation work. I'm giving you the energetic foundation for higher growth. So if we're weak and we live in fear and fatigue and hypervigilance, then we are going to struggle and we're going to succumb eventually, I'm afraid, to some of these awful burnouts and all sorts of negative things that are happening to people. But when we're strong and rooted, we can gain trust, we have stamina, and we have clarity. I'm in my mid-70s, and the other day somebody said to me, "How old are you?" And I told him, and he said, "I can't believe it. You've got the energy of a 16-year-old." And it's true. I have enormous energy, and I can keep going all day. I sleep superbly. I have good exercise. So I am your living model. If you want to look at it that way. I'm strong. I can gain trust easily. I trust myself. I have enormous stamina, and I'm enormously clear. And this really is the foundation of embodiment, which is my passion. Now, let's look more closely at the spine. You may not know much about the spine. I'm a student of the spine. I've studied it deeply in all my bodywork practices. And it's remarkable. It's much more than a structure. As I indicate here in this image with the tuning fork, it's like a vibrational instrument. In fact, I visualize it as an instrument. For me, one of the most amazing instruments in the world is the sitar, which we find in Indian music. This is a really straight instrument. The player sits behind it cross-legged, and it has a huge sound bowl at the bottom, which you could say is the base chakra. And you could say the fingerboard is the spine. So the sitar is a very good kind of example of this structure. And every breath, every thought, and every emotion impacts your spine. It's your central nervous system. It's where it's housed. It's your consciousness. And my product, Lodestone, which I'll talk about in a moment and you probably know about already, is an anchor. It will anchor you in every way. Here's just a kind of living model of the human spine, which I'll take you through in a moment in a visualization exercise. Right at the bottom we've got the coccyx. These are tiny little bones that are the remnants actually of a tail when we were a different kind of mammal. Yeah, they're tiny, they're rather irrelevant, but we have them and they're important in some ways. Then we have the sacrum, which is this area here, which is huge, strong bone at the base of the spine. And this is where we can find the base chakra, in the sacrum. And if your sacrum is out of line, or your compass here is not calibrated properly, then you'll feel enormous heaviness in your low back, fatigue, maybe depressed, and this all comes from the lower back. where the base chakra is located. Then we move up into this area. These are chunky bones, and you can see the discs in between each of them. This is the lumbar spine, it's the weight-bearing spine. So it carries your weight, but it also carries the weight that you may carry. Now this is really crucial. This whole area here, is truly crucial to good health. Then above this we have the thoracic spine, which coordinates with the rib cage. And of course the heart and lungs are inside the rib cage. And so this spine is very important too, this part of the spine. Above the notch on the back of your neck, we have the cervical spine. And the cervical spine, these are much smaller bones that go right up inside the skull. And then right at the top here, which I'll talk about in a moment, you have something called the atlas joint. You'll probably remember that Atlas held up the world. And your head is the world. So let's talk about that again in a moment. That's the layout of your spine. It's right up the back of your body from the base, right at the base, between your legs, near your genitals actually, right up to the top of your head. So it's your central core, and that's another reason it's so important. Now, the body's true power source, that's true. The sacrum and the base chakra is your engine. Yeah. And without caring for it, then you're going to really lose energy, and you'll get old easily and stiff and upset. So it's really important to start taking care of your spine now, and especially if you're sitting in front of a computer all day. Yeah, I'm standing right now. I rarely sit. Very difficult position to maintain or sustain. Standing is much healthier. So we've got two products here to look at. We've got my Lodestone, which I created in May and released at the beginning of June. It's now just over a month old and has had tremendous response. Now, this is really direct spine care through audio transmission. So I guide you through visualization and through sound to really take care of your spine. Now, my partner company is called Zinzino. You might have heard of it. It's a natural health company, and it works from blood tests. So you take a blood test, which is the only way we can really know what's happening in your body. It's the real truth about your body, a blood test. And we have products, and these three products are especially good for the spine. The balance oil, which is the basic product, full of vitamin D3 for bone and muscle foundation and function. The olive polyphenols, these are protective because many things that enter the body start to oxidize, and that can cause stress, and it can also stop the good things from being absorbed properly. Then we've got Extend, which is a great product. It's got 23 essential vitamins and minerals. And we've finally got Zinbiotic Plus, which is about gut health. Now, it's no mistake that your gut is in front of your base chakra and your sacrum. And many people experience problems because they've got poor gut health. We're onto this. We've really got this. And if your base chakra is really functioning well, you won't have any gut problems. Yeah, so here are the products. Let me just quickly remind you about them. I've been writing about them a lot recently because I'm very excited to join Zinzino. It's a fantastic company, really. And actually, I'm looking for recruits. If you would like to join my team, please contact me. I'm looking for people who can really help me amplify the idea of natural health. Zinzino's products are all 100% pure. They have been established now for many years, and they're so powerful. Yeah, I'm using them myself. They are very, very powerful indeed, and the blood test is superb. You really can make progress because you know the actual state of your blood and the omega components. Well, more of that in a moment. And my lodestone is the spiritual side of the scientific. So Zinzino is very scientific. It's all controlled by laboratories and so on, highly controlled in Norway, based in Norway. Lodestone, on the other hand, is highly spiritual. It comes from my spiritual training as a meditation teacher, a mindful educator, a Buddhist priest, and also an indigenous wisdom advocate. So I've spent a lot of time with indigenous people in a natural situation, and I learnt so much from them. So I've put all of that together into my Lodestone 1, which is really taking off now. If you're interested to know more, just drop me a line and I'll tell you all about it. Both of these things are about transformation. So Zinzino will transform scientifically from the inside using superb testing and superb products. Lodestone will also work from the inside out with audio transmissions and an ebook and a 30-day cycle. So you listen to different audio input each day, 30 minutes a day for 30 days. Zinzino, after you've had your blood test, we wait 120 days to retest you. So 120 days is a really significant time scientifically. My Lodestone is 30-day cycle, which you can repeat 4 times. And you buy a lifetime license and it's yours forever. So you can keep using it. And Zinzino 2, Lodestone 2 is on the way as well. I'm busy working on that right now, which is a continuation from Lodestone 1. So please check out these products if you don't know them. And recently I wrote a white paper, which is called the Sovereign Natural Health White Paper. And I'd like to offer this to you. I'm going to put it in the window under this live session. This will give you all the information I've just presented to you in a readable format with links, so you can actually go and check these things out. These are the 7 main points that this paper makes, that your health is not just a personal thing, it's your sovereignty. Yeah, this is a real buzzword at the moment. You know, if you don't have good health, you will not be happy, you will not be successful. How can we be? We have to be in good health. Our body, our spirits, our minds have to be balanced. And that's what my Lodestone does. It balances the 4 inner compasses. You can find out more in the white paper. Second point, yes, I'm blending science and spirituality. They are superbly integrated, and that's why I'm so happy that Zinzino has allowed me to join with Lodestone, and we're working on a discount for Lodestone users who subscribe to Zinzino products, which I'll tell you more about soon. Your mind, your human mind, which is extraordinary and unique and so powerful potentially, is your first organ of health. So just remember, every thought you have affects every cell of your body. It's a ripple effect. You can feel it. If you right now think, oh, I'm a failure, that will ripple through your body. You probably feel it in your lower abdomen, or you may start breathing shallowly. It's a horrible thought. and it lives in your cells. Yeah, the cells retain all this information that is fed to it from your thoughts. So part of the inside-out transformation is to learn how to transform the way you use your mind. So really it's your first organ of health. Your blood holds the real truth about you, not only your DNA, which is your cosmic identity, but also what's going on at a cellular level, an organ level, at many levels, what's happening inside your body. So the blood test is the single truth about your state of health. My Lodestone is an inside-out transformation, just like the Zinzino products. And both of them are about truly resetting conditioning, social conditioning, cultural, family, community conditioning, really hardwires the brain. And we lose touch with our true nature. And so both of these approaches will get you back in touch with your true nature because they're going to balance you. Zinzino has balance oil. I have 4 compasses which I help to recalibrate with my guidance, my audio guidance. And if you do this for 120 days, you'll be a new person. Yeah, I promise you. Yes, and this is my living invitation. It's a call to action to all of you, all human beings, to really start to take responsibility for your own health. We can't outsource it to doctors, to second opinions, to chance in many ways. With the wisdom of alternative practice, indigenous wisdom, spiritual wisdom, and so on, then we can really start to take responsibility, and we will become natural once again. We will glimpse our true nature and become truly happy. So that's the end of my short presentation. I hope it's helped, and I hope you felt something move. This is my campaign, the Escape the 9 to 5 Grind. Here's my Lodestone product logo. And if you want to know about any of these, then please contact me. You can make an appointment to talk to me. Just take this away, which I'll put into the box below this window. You can access Lodestone straight away. You can sign up to my Zinzino website and make an appointment to talk about how to proceed. So I'll make sure all of this is in the box below here. And I've had a lovely comment here from Fitz Spencer, who is my Zinzino mate, and he says, wow, I'm learning the chakra. I need to know more. So Fitz is really studying with me on this Q&A. In fact, he was live last week with his wife Zoe, and they asked me some great questions. So take a look back at that if you would like to. And in fact, I've put the links to all of my Lodestone Q&As into the Sovereign Health Guide. So you can really access those easily by just clicking on the link. So thank you, Fitz, so much for commenting. It's great to have you there, and it's great to have everybody else there. If you're on LinkedIn, thanks for coming. If you're on YouTube, thanks for coming. And I'd like to just finish, we've got about 5 minutes left. I'd like to just finish by doing a little visualization with you. Okay, it's simple, don't worry, and it's nothing to do with religion or anything, or indoctrination or anything like that. It's a simple visualization of your spine. I've just shown you pictures, models of the spine. You've now got an idea. that the spine runs from the crown of your head right down to the base of your spine, between your legs, literally, the base of the spine. So now I'd just like to talk you through that. And I'm going to start by ringing my bell. And when you detect the vibrations of my bell, I'd like you to just allow your eyelids to lower and just keep a rim of light open at the bottom of your gaze. Look at the tip of your nose. We'll just do a 3 or 4 minute visualization. Okay, here we go, wherever you are. And just to make this really effective, if you're sitting right now, then don't lean against the back of your chair. Sit straight up with the crown of your head going up, base of your spine going down. And if your feet are on the floor, that's the best thing. Put them flat on the floor. If you're standing, great. That's the best way. Again, crown of the head going up, base of the spine going down, and the soles of your feet going down. And you are the connection between heaven and earth. Here we go. So just lower your eyelids and let me just talk in away from the visual so that I can guide you. Here we go. Just take a moment to settle down from the visual. You're going to be seeing just a blurry line of light at the bottom of your gaze, but your eyelids are soft and almost closed, but don't close them totally because you might fall asleep. And this is how we can keep our awareness heightened. This is what meditation brings us. We just keep that rim. Okay. So what I want you to do now is take the incredible energy of your mind. The unique human mind is so creative. We are master creators. Take it in your imagination right down to the base of your spine. Right down to that place, right between your legs, where we know we have these little coccyx bones. They're tiny little bones. They don't really function for us now, but when we were animals with tails, they were very important. They were the root of the tail. Okay. So let's just bring your mind into a laser beam. A strong, bright laser beam. And let's start to scan up those tiny coccyx. This is where the chakra is, the base chakra. If we had a heat camera now, we could see the incredible heat that you generate here. This is your engine for life. Okay? And certainly if you feel any back pain or any heaviness in your lower back, it means your root is not rooted. So this little practice will help you to root your base chakra. So now bring the laser of your mind slowly, steadily, bring it up to the lumbar spine. Remember from the picture, lumbar spines are really chunky bones, big, strong bones, and inside of them, in between each of them, is a disc. You've heard this expression, disc. And this disc is cartilage. We also have it in knees and wrists, and it helps joints work. So cartilage is a very, potentially very cushioning substance. But when we get tired and we don't properly use our spines, these discs get compressed. If you have pain, you have compressed discs, certainly. So let's just take the laser beam of your mind, the heat and light of your mind, just into those lower bones and start to scan up. Bone, disc, bone, disc, and so on. These big, chunky lumbar bones. And the sacrum is there. And this is the biggest bone of the spine. It's the size of a hand. actually. And this is really part of your base chakra. So scan up those big chunky lumbar bones that bear weight, your weight and any weight you carry. And then move up behind the intestines, up the back of your body, and on up behind the solar plexus, which we talked about last week, which is your center of gravity of the body. Move up behind that, climbing up these bones with a disc, bone, disc, and so on. And eventually we climb up behind the diaphragm, which is your breathing muscle. And that's very much connected to your lungs. Climb on up, keep going up slowly and steadily with your laser beam mind, the heat and light of your mind. You don't need to do any stretching, nothing to do. This is visualization only. Then we come to the rib cage. The rib cage connects into the spine. Inside your rib cage are all your vital organs, but especially your heart. And the heart radiates electromagnetic waves 60 times stronger than the brain. We think the brain is the main brain, but in fact your heart is a much more powerful brain. You'll climb up behind your heart, bone, disc. The bones are smaller here, if you remember. Bone, disc, bone, disc. Keep going, and eventually you come to the top third of your chest, and this is where we find the lungs. The lungs are constantly flickering away, 22 to 24,000 times a day. They're processing oxygen from the planet, from planet Earth that you are standing on the surface of, retaining the nutrients, expelling the unwanted components, working away madly, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 years to sustain your existence. So move up behind your lungs, feeling really grateful for those lungs, bone, disc, and eventually you come to the notch on the back of your neck. Okay, now this is the end of your thoracic spine, your chest spine. From here on up, the bones are much smaller. This is the cervical spine, bone, disc, and eventually your spine disappears up into your skull, right up the back of your head. Bone, disc, and then we reach the crown of the head, and right at the top of your spine is something called the atlas joint, and the atlas joint is what pivots your skull. This is where your skull balances. No, it's not attached to your spine. It's independent of your spine, but it's held in place by muscles. So the head, neck, back is a tremendously important relationship, which I work with all the time. So now we're right at the crown of the head, and above the sky, the universe, and below your feet, the planet, or below your base chakra, the planet, your seat, your sitting bones. And with the power of your mind, you have lengthened your spine, perhaps by as much as 1 centimeter. The power of the mind is enormous. So now you're feeling great, you're breathing beautifully, you understand exactly where your spine is and your consciousness between the heavens and the earth. And when you detect the resonance of my bell, just allow your eyelids to rise and look ahead. Wonderful. So if you feel as good as I do, I feel superb. Just those few minutes, 3 or 4 moments actually, we can visualize the spine, the crown's going up, the base chakra is going down, your feet are going down into planet Earth. The connection between the two is so strong. And so when we look out into the visual world, which often pulls us right out, we can stay back in our strength. Our lungs are working beautifully. We've consciously breathed for a few moments, and so the lungs have expanded, and they're really supporting you. And probably looking out into the world, you feel quite different. This is where we want to look out from. This is your core. And if you spend more time looking out into the visual world from your core, you will remain balanced. Your body, spirit, and mind will be truly balanced. So if you're feeling great, let me know. I'd like to hear about it in the comments down below. You can easily add a comment to this window. And I've really enjoyed talking to you. I hope you have learnt lots, and that your day ahead will be superb, and that your spine health will make you truly happy. If you want to find true happiness, start with your spine. Thank you so much. I'll be back next week. I'm going to do a compendium of all 4 Lodestone compasses next week, and some more practice with you. Thank you so much. Please ask questions below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you.